Satsang Radha Kunda, December 25th. And we discussed last week something about Dhamma aparads. And I want to make some correction to that discussion. The Goswami books, the point was brought up that in the Dhamma aparads, it mentions that one of the aparads is considered Navadvip and Vrindavan to be different. So I talked about some of my teachers and what I had mentioned incorrectly, which I want to make a correction now. I said that the Das aparads aren't mentioned in the Goswami books. That's correct. There are no the Dhamma aparads to Vrindavan or Navadvip or anywhere are not mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Madhurya Kanamani, and Bhakti Ratnakara, and any books by the Goswamis. I said that they're mentioned in a book written in Hindi or Sanskrit called Braj Bhakti Vilas by Narayan Bhatta Goswami, who founded the Lara deities in Varsana. And his samadhi and his bhajan kutir is in Unchigam. He has a gufa, underground cave in Unchigam where he did bhajan. 25 feet underground. You can see it today in Unchigam, behind Varsana. So I said, I never read it because I don't read Hindi. I can read it a little bit, but the calendar and whatnot. But I didn't read the book, and I said that I heard that it was there, that the fences the Holy Down. It does mention Navadvip, because Navadvip wasn't in the idea of Narayan Bhatta Goswami, because he collected the offenses from some shastras. So after class, I had some doubt myself, because I hadn't read it, and when I make a statement here in this venue, or any venue where I speak, I want it to be correct, based on the Goswami teachings. I mean, that's my standard of authority is the 6 Goswamis, Narottam, etc. So I have my doubts, so I sent an email to Satyanarayana Das Babaji from Jiva Institute, who is the most respected and learned Gaudiya Vaisnava scholar on the planet today. At least that speaks English, for sure. Very good English. He's a great teacher, as everyone knows. So I got a reply from him. He said, I read this Braj Bhakti Vilas. I read it, and the surprising thing is it doesn't say, I thought it would be full of different leelas and pastimes of Radha Krishna. It has hardly any leelas at all. It has hardly any leelas. It just tells all kinds of rituals and rites. And it doesn't mention anything about Dhamma aparads. So nowhere, even so I was incorrect that the book is entitled Braj Bhakti Vilas. It was written 400 years ago by Narayan Bhatta Goswami, who was a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit, and then he went to the Embarked Sampradaya or something like that. Anyway, he's a great scholar and great Vaishnava himself, but he didn't write anything about aparads. So where do the aparads come from? The aparads are mentioned in this book. Appreciate Vrindavan by some Swami, some questionable Swami. And on page 257, I'll read the 10 offenses all the way down. And where do they come from? First, because I asked the Waitadas, who's my Shiksha Guru, also on this question. He says, these offenses are nowhere. They're not Madhurya Kanamani. He lists all the books they're not in. Bhakti Ratnakara, Madhurya Kanamani, Hari Bhakti Vilas, etc., etc., etc. Nowhere. I said, where do they come from? They come from BBT. The BBT. And if you search the internet, Google search and say Dhamma aparads, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 entries. This tire tree and this tree and that tree and all kinds of trees and all kinds of branches and all kinds of stems and leaves, etc. And all this talk about the 10 offenses. Well, there's no Facebook, no website of any traditional sampradaya telling anything about Dhamma aparads. Interesting point. So in my introduction to the Dhamma aparads, which is on page 257, called Living in the Holy Dham of Vrindavan, chapter 18. It says, there are offenses to avoid in chanting the holy name, serving the Thakurji of Krishna, and visiting and residing in Krishna's holy Dham Vrindavan. This following list of 10 offenses in holy Dham comes from the Archana Padati, the authorized manual for deity worship in ISKCON. Have you heard of that organization? It's famous. So this is what they say, and they're good. They're also good. 1, to show contempt or almost parallel to the Nama Maharaj. So it didn't take too much intelligence for Bhaktivinoda Thakur to make 10 offenses all the way down. It's a good thing. We should be careful in our behavior, our attitude, and actions. So you can, the way I look at it, personally myself, my conclusion of the whole discussion is what is in the holy Dham Vrindavan, or Puri, or Yodhya, or Haridwar, or especially Navadvip and Vrindavan. They are Vaishnavas, and they're Thakurjis. So the Padma Puran says if you think that Murti is made of stone, you have a hellish mentality. Arche Shri Vishnu, there's that verse there, famous verse, which I forgot. But it says if you think the Archmurti is made of stone, the Shalagram is made of stone, you have a hellish mentality. So Holy Dham is full of nothing but Murtis and Thakurjis. Hanuman, Shiva, Parvati, Ram, Krishna, Vishnu, Narayan, Lakshmi, everybody. Radha Krishna, Monkey Bihari, Radha. So that's an event. So there's only 2 things in Holy Dham. There's Krishna in the Murti form, and there's Vaishnavas. And Vaishnava Rats are all in the Shastra. Vaishnava Rats, Skanda Puran talks about 6 Vaishnava Rats. So one of the Vaishnava Rats is to kill Vaishnava, boom. That's not a good idea. Another one is to physically hurt a Vaishnava. One is to speak badly about a Vaishnava. Another one is to not feel happy when you see a Vaishnava. Oh no, there's that Russian lady. I don't like that lady. She tried to pick off my husband, and I don't like her. We have different animosities and envies and grudges that hang around our brain, which is not good for bhakti. Bhakti means love, and love doesn't accommodate all those negative vibrations. They're not welcome. So let's go on with the list here. To show contempt for the Guru that reveals the Vrindavan Dham, to think the Vrindavan is temporary, to commit violence towards any of the Brijvasis, Yatris, or to think they're ordinary people, perform mundane activities while living in a Dham, like going to Mathura to see the latest movie. Like I used to live in Ramareddy, and somebody said, there's a movie Gandhi, it's playing Mathura, it's all about India, it's really good. A lot of sannyasis are going, you want to go see? I said, no thanks. Is it a movie about Astakala Leela? No, it's not Gandhi. I said, they get lost. No, it's so-and-so Swami, and so-and-so Swami's coming. I said, okay, buy some popcorn for him. Because the movies eat popcorn. To earn money by making business of deity worship in holy name. Doesn't mean you can't sell gobi skirts online. You can sell gobi skirts online and string malas and make money, but not on Thakurji Puja, which every temple does, and not on Harinam, which all Provi Kirtan people do. Like if you want to have some function, have a Harinam group, they say, how much are you going to give us? He said, 100 rupees each. No, it's 500 rupees each. Okay, come on. Disappearance of your father. Any time you want somebody to do kirtan, you have to pay money. That's not really very good. According to this list from Arshapati, it's an offense. And 6 offenses, to think that Vrindavan belongs to a mundane country or province like Uttar Pradesh, or to equate Vrindavan with any holy place of the devotees, or to try to measure the holy Dham. It seems like the 7th offense to the holy Dham is the same as the 7th offense to the holy name, which is what? What's the seventh offense to the holy name? Nam Nam Balad Papa Buddhi. What does it say, the whole thing? Yeah, to think that you can enjoy and get forgiven for your mundane enjoyment by chanting Hare Krishna means you have a hellish mentality. Narc Buddhi. So that's the seventh offense. So I named the seventh offense Holy Dham. It's because sinful activities are residing in Vrindavan. Eighth offense is considered Navadvip Vrindavan different. Ninth offense is blasphemy Shastras to glorify the Vrindavan Dham, which is the sixth offense to the holy name. To be faithless and think the glories of Vrindavan Dham are imaginary. That's the fifth offense. Harinam Kalpana, Mahimal Kalpana. So, Navadvip and Vrindavan are different in terms of, they're completely different in terms of Leela and Bhav, and we explained all the differences last time. That Navadvip is called Sadhana Dham, and this is what I heard from Advaita. Sadhana Dham, and Vrindavan is called Siddha Dham. Sometimes it's called Sadhana Bhumi and Siddha Bhumi. We call it Dham. So there's not much difference, but the main thing is we should make offenses, because all the offenses in the Holy Dham are about people and Thakurjis. You know, we're doing business in Holy Dham. What the business, our only business in Holy Dham is to attain love. This Prem Dham, I mean, this is the Dham of Prem, not the Dham of Paisa. Ruby Dham. Ruby Dham Guest House. What? Ruby Dham Guest House. I mean, no, it's a place we come here to get prem. Another nice point, Vaidas mentioned, that there's some famous verses in the Sloka book of Srila Prabhupada and also in Narayan Maharaj's Sloka Amrita book, I think it's called Sloka Amrita. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Chaitanyas Tadam Vrindavanam Ramya Kachirupasana Brajavadusha Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Puranam Prema Pamartaman Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Natata Ardhara. I don't care about anybody else's opinion. I accept these are the Sambandha Abhidaya Prayoja. This verse by Srinath Chakravarti, who's a disciple of Advaitacharya, Advaita Parivar. And it's the perfect synthesis and explanation of what is Chaitanya Gaudiya Vaisnava Tattva Siddhanta. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Chaitanya. Our Aradhya Bhagavan, the form of Bhagavan that we worship, is the son of Nanda, means Nanda Nanda, not Dwarkadish, not Kurukshetra Krishna, not Mathura Krishna. We worship Krishna in Vrindavan. So he says it's not really relevant. We don't really just to say that Navadvip and Vrindavan are one, or to make offenses, to consider them equal is offense. It doesn't make any difference because our goal is Vrindavan. The Goswamis preached the goal is Vrindavan, and this prayer was written at the time of the Goswamis. Srinath Chakravarti was a contemporary Vaitacharya and Jiva Goswami Rupa Sanatan. And everyone glorified this prayer as the perfect explanation what is Chaitanya Gaudiya Vaishnavism. The goal is Vrindavan, not Navadvip Puri. The goal is, and what Ramya, what's the Upasana? Upasana means the sadhana, the way of worship. The worship is Ramya Kachirupasana. Brajavadu Bir. Brajavadu means that there's a rock band. Brajavadu. So now the leader of that band dropped off the name Brajavadu and it's called Gauramani. She got too much ego, so she wanted to kick out the Vadus. She kicked out the Vadus, now it's Gauramani's band. He's a good singer, no doubt, but Brajavadus died. Got married, I guess. I mean, they were married right away. Now it's Gauramani's all-star Hari Krishna rock band. You heard them? They're famous. They're famous. They're good singer. But so, it says, Ramya Krishna Brajavadu Veera. The young married brides of Vrindavan, the way they worship Nanda, that's the way we worship. We have to follow the gopis. The famous Shruticharis, famous rishis, long beards, big jata, and skinny, like 6 feet, 2 meters tall, 40 kilos weight. Great yogis and rishis. They're chasing after gopis in Vrindavan. They follow the gopis in Raghunaga Bhakti, the Shrutis. Chapter 87, the 10th canto, you can read all about it. They want to become gopis. This is Ramya Kachita Upasana. Ramya means delightful, beautiful. Ramya Kachita Upasana, the beautiful Upasana, delightful Upasana of young married girls worshiping another man besides their husband. Parakiya, Paramore love. This is the goal of life. This is the method of sadhana bhajan. What? This is illicit. This is immoral. Okay, go somewhere else. That's what we're doing over here. We follow the strictest regulations of purity individually, but we worship the loosest guy in creation. We're strict and clean. We don't have our, face covered with cow dung and stuff like that. Krishna's chasing cows all over the place and through the mud and pastures of Vrindavan. So, this is the point he was explaining to me. The Goswami said Vrindavan is our goal. You ever read Upadeshamrita? Rupa Goswami, what does he say? Did he say higher than Navadvipa is Mathura? He doesn't even say anything about Navadvipa. This is Upadeshamrita, 11 instructions about perfection and bhakti. Why doesn't he talk about Navadvipa? Nothing about Mayapur. What? What's going on here? It's Vrindavan. And where do they live and do bhajan? Vrindavan. How many Goswamis lived in Vrindavan?
Five. One is Radha Kunda.
Pretty good. Who lived in Radha Kunda? Raghunath Das Goswami Pada Ki. So that's enough for Navadvipa and Vrindavan. Navadvipa is nice, but Mahaprabhu, like a nice point we made last week, was because when you go on Navadvipa Parikramā, what do they say? They take you into the middle of a field. See this field? Now it's March and April. It's very dry. It's Navadvipa Parikramā, March and April, February, March, April. But so you can't see it. But in the rainy season, there's 2 lakes here. And one lake is called Radha Kunda and one called Shamakund. Oh, cha. I can't see it now. No, you can't see it come the rainy season. Then I asked a question to my Tirth Guru, my Navadvipa Dham Tirth Guru. I said, Guruji, if this is Radha Kunda and Shamakund, why didn't Lord Chaitanya come in his backyard and point it out and say, this is Radha Kunda and Shamakund? Hey, where are you from? I'm from Vrindavan. What's your name? Oh, you're that guy. You're a troublemaker. Yeah. I live in Radha Kunda. And Lord Chaitanya came here. He came to UP. He came to Vrindavan Dham and discovered Radha Kunda here. It's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's nothing in Chaitanya Charitamrita, nothing in Chaitanya Bhagavad, nothing in Chaitanya Mangal. It says Lord Chaitanya discovered Radha Kunda and Shamakund Navadvipa Dham. So how are they one? They're not. So the way it was explained to me by Vaitas, who's very intelligent, he said, Navadvipa and Vrindavan are completely different in Bhav and in Leela, but they're one ontologically. What's that word mean? Look it up on Google, it says it means metaphysical. What does metaphysical mean? We're on a run here. Ontological, what does that mean? That means metaphysical. What does metaphysical mean? That means transcendental. So the oneness of Vrindavan and Navadvipa is both holy dhams of God. That's it. God appeared in Navadvip, God appeared in Vrindavan. And what they did there and who they did, everything is different. So the two choices we have, Navadvip and Vrindavan, our Mahajans, our Purvacharyas, all preach the glories of Vrindavan. And person who lived here wrote about Vrindavan. They talk about Panchanga Bhakti. It says Mathura Vasa Stale. It doesn't say Navadvip / Mathura Vasa Stale. If they're one, why did they say one? You can live in Mathura or Navadvip. You follow me? Like you're just in there 2 times it says this verse, Panchanga Bhakti. The 5 most important levels of Bhakti, which very quickly give you prema. Mathura Vasa Stali, to live in the Mathura Mandal. Not Navadvip, not Puri. Vipralamba Dham. Puri, okay, stay there. More chapatis from Madhukari. Stay there, otherwise you take my chapatis and go here. People want to go to Puri and do bhajan and Navadvip, all glories. But where's the support they get from Goswami books? Challenge them. Show me in Goswami books the glories of Navadvip. There's a book called Navadvip Sataka. Ever hear Navadvip Sataka? And the name on it is Prabodhananda Saraswati. And no Gaudiya Vaisnava scholar from A to Z accepts that this is written by Prabodhananda Saraswati. The general, because the only edition that's available is published by Gaudiya Math. And all the verses, practically every verse, because I read an analysis of this book by Jagadananda. Jagadananda. He's a Prabhupada disciple. He knows Sanskrit, Bengali. He's quite a pundit and quite learned person. And he analyzed it and other professors. And most all the verses are from Chaitanya Chandramrita or from Vrindavan Mahimamrita. Just substitute with Navadvip, Vrindavan, Navadvip, you can substitute without changing the meter, the Sanskrit meter, and because Navadvip Sataka is written in Sanskrit. And they believe it's written by, most consensus is Navadvip Sataka is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He just copy and paste the verses from Vrindavan Mahimamrita and Chaitanya Chandramrita, which are both by Prabhupada Saraswati. And he created a new book called Navadvip Sataka. Because Vrindavan Mahimamrita is all about Vrindavan by Prabhupada Saraswati, who lived here, did bhajan. He didn't write anything about Navadvip. So, a very clever move. So you write a book about Navadvip, you put his name on it. This is what I'm not saying I don't have any brain to figure this out. This is what all the learned authority, all my Shiksha gurus, all my gurus, everyone I know that knows anything about language and Sanskrit and Bengali and Indian Shastra, it says this. So, you go to that extent to advertise and promote the glories of Navadvip, that's good. But why do we have to distort and change the original teaching? Did the 6 Goswamis make a mistake? They forgot something? Jiva Goswami forgot something? Rupa Goswami forgot some point of rasa or top of it? It's not possible. They're geniuses, they're greatest scholars. The contemporary acharyas that take a free hand and creating new shastras and making new Siddhanta, I have all respect and glory, all respect for them. But I can't accept, I can't follow that way. My sense of rightness and sense of reality and truth doesn't allow me to accommodate that kind of interpretation. Because you have to put your head somewhere. Your head has to fall, it can't be at the feet of everybody. So when you put your head at someone's feet, you better make sure the person's feet are qualified for your head. So you do a comparison chart, you compare, like if I was looking for a spiritual teacher today, I wouldn't be sitting on this veranda. I would be in Seetal Chai and I would be in Seetal Chai in Jiva Institute hearing from Satyanarayan Babaji. I think he's a great Vaishnava and a great teacher, and I would love him to be my guru. But somehow some people have different tastes and different ideas, and they end up with different gurus. Because everybody's not there, but many intelligent, smart people are. People come to me, I say, have you been here? Have you been there? Have you seen this? Have you heard this guru? Have you heard that guru? Yeah. What are you doing here? We want to stay here. I say you're crazy. Okay. That's it. Navadvip Dham ki, Vrindavan Dham ki, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Gauranga. Questions? So Radha is teaching Radha Baba. That's cool. One baby sitting the other baby. Two babies sitting each other. Right. Questions? Question? No.
Before starting Raga Bhakti Anuched means Anuched around 237. After that, Raga Bhakti Jaya Goswami describes. Before that, Jaya Goswami describes about the Navvidha Bhakti, and in that he says later on in Raga Bhakti he says that this Navvidha Bhakti described by Prahlad Maharaj comes under Vaidhi Bhakti. So I could not understand how the Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, those that Navvidha Bhakti comes under Vaidhi Bhakti.
Question is how does
how the Navvidha Bhakti described by Prahlad Maharaj comes under Vaidhi Bhakti?
How does the 9 minutes of Bhakti described in the 7th canto, Shravan Kirtan by Prahlad Maharaj come under Vaidhi Bhakti?
Jaya Goswami writes that they come under Vaidhi Bhakti. Then Jaya Goswami talks about Raga Bhakti. And in Raga Bhakti, Jaya Goswami says that we have to follow Guru and his guidance, like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. These are the main.
Yeah, what Rupa Goswami says in Raga Bhakti, we follow all the Vidya Vaidhi Marg, except 5 things: Mahishi Puja, Dwarka Dhyan, Mudra, Ahangrapasana, what else? Tapta.
Nyasa, Mudra Nyasa.
Yeah, Mudra Nyasa, Ahangrapasana, Dwarka Dhyan, Mahishi Puja. So these are only 5 things, otherwise we have Mangalarti, we have evening Arti, we worship Thakur, we do everything the same. But the motivating factor is different. The Raganuga Bhakti is also Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is also 9 minutes of Prahlad Maharaj. Vidhi means regulated, rules, following a systematic process is a Vidhi. So even Rag Marg is systematic, it's translated wrongly, spontaneous. It's not spontaneous, it's systematic. It's a sadhana, a regulated sadhana. We hear and chant, remember, in a regulated way, a systematic way. Vidhi means systematic, one by one by one. Madhurya Kadamati is all about Rag Marg, and it's all systematic. Going through Nishta, Anishtita Bhakti, then ruchi, and this is all for Rag Marg also. Leading the bhav and the experiences of an 8th shower describes the experience of prema. That's all in Rag Marg. Krishna's, you're touching Krishna, you're interacting directly with Krishna, not Vishnu. This Madhurya Kadamba is all about the progress in Rag Marg. It's very systematic, very sequential. Anukram. Anukram means one step after the other, Anukram. So I don't understand your question.
How means they come under Raganuga Bhakti also, so how I that 9 Navvidha Bhakti is categorized in Vaidhi Bhakti? That is my question. Because we also do the same things. So Vaishnava Goswami has written that in Vaidhi Bhakti and said Raganuga Bhakti is.
The difference between Raga Bhakti and Vaidhi Marg is Rag, and you have greed to worship Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, following a particular resident of Vrindavan. If you don't have that, you're doing Vaidhi Bhakti. Like they talk about doing Vaidhi Bhakti mixed with Rag. So some Rag is there, but mostly doing Vaidhi. But pure Raganuga Bhakti means that you're particularly following one resident of Vrindavan. Ragatmika Jana. Most of us are following Raghunath Das Goswami, Rati Manjari or Rupa Manjari. That's specified, and that they're Ragatmika Bhaktis, and we're doing pure Raghunath Bhakti. We're doing everything they do. We're chanting their astakams, Rupa Goswami's astakams, Raghunath Das Goswami's astakams. We're chanting astakams and prayers of Manjaris, not Yamuna Charya, Mukunda Mala Stotram, etc., and all these things. They're great prayers, but we have no care for them. We want to chant the prayers and the stotrams of the Raganuga Bhaktas. Ragatmika Janas of Braj. Everything we do, we want to chant the Maha Mantra with the meaning of Raghunath Das Goswami, the meaning of Vishnu Chakravarti. Not a Vaidhi Marg meaning. We don't want a Vaidhi Marg meaning, we want Rag Marg meaning. But we have our own meaning of the holy name. So that's the difference. We're specified. We're attached to Krishna in Vrindavan and Madhurya Rati, and then we're following a Manjari. This is very specific. Our motivating factor is Rag, greed. Lobhamaya Shraddha. We have love for following Raghunath Das and Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami. In Sadhguru and Siddharup. So it's a world on one level it looks the same, but on a deeper level it's a whole different world. The world of a Rag Bhakta is a whole different world than a Vaidhi Bhakta. Freezing.
Yes.
I know, I can tell. I have a shirt and little underwear and all kinds of things. 2 sweaters.
Bring some. Like it.
No, I'm okay. Well, she's freezing. I just tell you. It's good. No one's sleeping. Especially for Indians who really feel cold. You're from Russia, you don't feel so cold, though. Is that okay? The answer is okay or what?
Because my doubt means I'm thinking that Prahlad Maharaj said, and he is in a part of Vaidhi Marg. So because he said, so his point of view is because of that Vaidhi Marg. That's why whatever he described now with the Bhakti also falls under Vaidhi Bhakti. I thought like that.
No. Because he says Vishnu Padasevan and we're doing Radha Padasevan. He says the 4th lip, Shraddha Kirtan Vishnu Padasevan. Get Vishnu out of here, man. Shraddha Kirtan Radha Padasevan. Ami Radha Padadasi. Ami Radha Padadasi. I'm a servant of Radha's lotus feet. Or Krishna. So we tweak it. We take Prahlad Maharaj's 9 lists and we give it a Vrindavan twist. You know? Take out Vishnu's feet and put Radharani's feet. Take out remembering, Lakshmi and Vaikuntha remembering Kunjalila, Radha and Krishna. So it's a different idea. Different motivation. Motivating factor is rag, not vaidhi, not fear. We're not serving Krishna out of fear. We're not afraid to take another birth. Everybody else is afraid. Everybody bhakti. I want to go back to Godhead. Why? 'Cause I don't like living in front of Bhagavati. I want to go back to God and get away from her. Maybe she feels that way from me. But we don't care. We take birth 100 times here, and Bhagavati's my neighbor every time. Okay, I don't mind. And this is Braj. We're in Braj. We're not. We're already there. We're surrounded by the holy Dham. We're surrounded by Leelas, and we're surrounded by loving devotees. What more do you want? You still want more? Well, okay. We'll chat more rounds and see more of it. It's already right in our finger. It's right at our fingertips. It's on the end of at the front of our eyeballs. It's on the tip of our fingerprints. We're sitting in the middle of Leela Bhumi Vrindavan. We're sitting in the middle of praying Dham. Everywhere is praying, everywhere is light, everywhere is love. Let it shine on you, let it affect you, let it move you, let it thrill you. Let it lift you up, carry you, fly you away. From inviting bhakti to supersonic transport. Yeah, some net questions from 3 weeks ago or so?
Yes.
Still have those? Sometimes I was asking what is Krishna's Radharani's Rati for Manjaris and Krishna's Rati and all that stuff.
From Dharma Setu Das. What is the Rati between Sri Radhika and her Manjaris? Is it a form of sadhya mixed with Vatsalya?
The question is, a net question from a few weeks ago. Someone said, what is the Rati between Radharani and her Manjaris? And what is the Rati between Krishna and the Manjaris? For the Rati between Krishna and Radharani and the Manjaris, the Rati, the emotional love that they share with them is called Vatsalya. If you look in Radha Sudhanidhi, verse 18 of Radha Sudhanidhi says Vatsalya Sindhu. Radharani is described as Vatsalya Sindhu. Sindhu means Sagar. Sagar means Ambudi. Ambudi means Sindhu, means Sagar, means ocean. Sea. S-E-A, sea. Ocean. Radharani is an ocean of motherly love for the Manjaris. And Krishna is an ocean of parental love for the Manjaris. How so? In the West, we can't understand this too much, but in Indian culture, even today, what to speak of 5,000 years ago, if your sister is 1 year older than you, she treats you like a baby. She's your sister, that's Sekirat, that's Sekirati. She's your sister, but she treats you like her little baby. She takes you to the potty, and she feeds you and heats up your milk, just like mother does. So we see in Indian culture, the older brother treats his 1 year younger daughter like his 1 year younger sister like his daughter. He protects her, looks after her. This is Indian culture. What to speak of Christian culture 5,000 years ago? So Krishna and Radharani, they treat the Manjaris like they're little kids. The Manjaris are 12 years old, Radharani's 14. I know 2 Indian sisters. You know them also. And one's 2 years old and the other one. And the younger one still remembers the 2-year older sister, oh, she was changing my diapers, and she was washing my bum, and she was doing so many things for me. I said, well, you should never forget that. I said, I can't. She doesn't let me forget it. So this is the relationship of Krishna with the Manjaris is purely Vatsalya. In Radha Sudhanidhi, there's a verse, Madhya Madhyati, I don't know, whatever. It says that Manjaris complain to Radharani. Manjari complains to Radharani. He says, Radharani, you're Krishna, he's nasty. He's not nice. Krishna, because he knows I'm your surrendered Manjari, I'm your surrendered maidservant. Sometimes he grabs me and embraces me and kisses me and intoxicates me with the wine of arrows. Surata Madhyati. Surata Madhyata, something like that, the verse Sanskrit. Sometimes he intoxicates me with his kisses, and with the wine, he makes you drink the wine of arrows. Arrows? Not arrows. Not arrows, arrows. It's error. E-R-O-S means amorous love. And so I want to complain about him, Radharani. Radharani giggles and laughs. Okay, I'll tell him not to do that. So Krishna is showing so much amorous love for the Manjari, but in the mood of a father. Pretty intimate father. But sometimes a father will embrace his daughter and kiss her forehead or something like that. Yeah. So that's the extent of it. So the answer was the rati of Krishna Radharani for Manjari is Vatsalya. Like if the mother's not too fat, the mother's 45 and not too fat, then sometimes she lets her daughter wear her clothes. Because the daughter and the mother may be the same shape and size. After all, she is a daughter. So the mother didn't get too fat, and the daughter's too young to get too fat. Yet. So the daughter will wear the mother's clothes. The mother may say, you keep that purple dress, or green dress, or whatever, yellow dress. You like it so much. So Radharani gives her dresses to the Manjaris. It's called Radha Prasadi. She gives her choli, she gives her gogi dress, whatever, sorry. So this is motherly love. So this is the answer to that question. Oh. I want this idea, because the sthai rati of the Manjaris is Madhurya rati, is amorous love. That's how they relate to Radha and Krishna and experience their bhavas and feelings and whatnot. But the question was asked, that's how the Manjaris, that permanent mood of love, permanent unchangeable mood, sthai rati is Madhurya rati, amorous love. But just like there's different relationships, different rasas, like the mother has Vatsalya love for you, the son. What kind of love does a mother have for her husband? What kind of love does a mother have for her husband? Amorous love. It's her lover. Hope so. Should be anyway. But then, so there's the mixture of rasas. There's Madhurya rati, Madhurya amorous love with the husband. There's Vatsalya love with the children. And how about the house servants? Madhurya love for that maid? Wait a minute, Jack. No, it's Dasya rati, master servant. So you find the same thing in Krishna Lila, mixture of rasas. We'll do a quiz now. What is Balaram's rasa with Krishna? Balaram's rasa with Krishna. Krishna is his younger brother by 1 year. Vatsalya and Sakya. Wrong. There's three rasas. Three rasas.
Dasya, Vatsalya, Sakya.
Okay, let's hear for Ganapati Baba. Sankarshanasya Sankyastu Priti Vatsaya Sangatam. So there's a mixture of Dasya and Vatsaya and Sakya Ras in Balaram. Now, tricky question. Move off to Indraprastha. Indraprastha, Yudhisthira Maharaj. What is his ras? Mixture of rasas.
Vatsalya, Sakya. Vatsalya and Sakya.
Vatsaya and Sakya. Anything else?
Dasya also, he seats him on the throne when Rajasuya.
This is who?
Krishna, so
Krishna. He seats Krishna.
Yudhisthira sits Krishna on the throne. Is that what he said? Okay. So what do you say? What's your answer?
All the three again.
What three?
Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya.
Correct! Aditya Baba ki jai. Jai Aditya Baba. Yudhisthira's mixture of rasas. Yudhisthira Vatsayam Pritya. Pritya means Preya. Preya means Sakya. Sakyena Chanvitam. Okay. And it goes like that. So there's a mixture of rasas, and it describes examples of that. Different layers. Oh. Okay. What kind of rasas do old gopis have? Jarad, Abir Kadinam. Abira means old coward ladies. Jara, Janma Mritu Jaravyadi. Janma Mritu Jaravyadi. Birth, death, old. Jara means old age. Gray hair, you know. Know that? Later. I give you a blessing. 60 years later. Actually, she's Italians don't get gray hair very fast. As a fact, Parvat Maharaj is Italian sadhu with jata and everything. He's like 75 years old and doesn't have gray hair. He's Italian. It's a good deal. So what about the old gopis?
Vatsalya, like mothers.
Dasya,
The old gopis, the Jarad Abiras, they have Vatsaya, Sakya, Mishritam, Mishra. They're a mixture of Vatsaya and Sakya, friendship. Why do they have Sakya? Why do the elderly gopis have Sakya mixed in their Vatsaya ras? Because they have a slight joking mood with Krishna. They joke with Krishna a little bit. So that joking is like friendly. So they have some friendship mixed in their parental love.
What about Jatila? What about Jatila?
She's not worthy of discussion. We follow Rupa Raghunath. She's old, but not much told about her. Okay, here's a quiz question. Shiva, Garuda, Uddhava, and others, what is their rasas?
Dasya,
Dasya,
Sakya.
seven.
Dasya, Sakya.
Sakya.
Dasya,
Sorry, off the outside. Correct. So who has a mixture of Dasya and Sakya? Who?
Sakya.
Who else?
Garuda.
And Uddhava. This way, we should understand there's a mixture of rasas and other devotees also. So that's that. This is a picture of Vaidadasa's Nitya Seva. It's not like an honor front. It's a little over the top. But the Nitya Seva Vaidadasa, I don't know if he's going to like it, but it's Charan Seva Radharani. So this is Vaita Manjari. Cute little girl. This is the banks of Radha Kunda. I keep it down. I want to see my mustache. Okay, question. Wow, everyone's too frozen to sleep. Ned. No? Yes. Your cards.
Maharaj, I can understand that 5 Goswamis from Vrindavan and 1 from Radha Kunda. What is the difference between those?
What's the difference? Well, all the Goswamis are already here, and the 5 Goswamis are already staying in Vrindavan primarily. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan, Raghunath Bhatta, Jiva, Gopal Bhatta. And the last Goswami to come to Vrindavan, the last one was Raghunath Das. Because Raghunath Das stayed 16 years in Puri with Lord Chaitanya. When Lord Chaitanya left, and 6 months later, Raghunath Das felt like he should give up his body. So Raghunath Das had a Govardhan Shila was given to him by Lord Chaitanya. So he said, I'll go to Vrindavan, I'll put this Govardhan Shila back on Govardhan Hill, and I'll commit suicide. I'll give up my body. Doesn't say how, he just said, I'll give up my body because I can't stand to live any longer without Lord Chaitanya. So when Raghunath Das entered Vrindavan, he was here in Govardhan, and Rupa and Sanatan heard that he had come to Vrindavan, but he was very quiet because he had Sankalpa to disappear. He didn't want to meet anybody. He knew everybody was there. He didn't go there. He came here to Govardhan, Radha Kunda area. So they heard and they came out and met him and said, listen, you were 16 years in Puri with Lord Chaitanya. You know so much about his Leelas. You saw directly his Leelas. It would be a great loss for the Gaudiya Vaisnava world if you don't tell us about what you saw, what you experienced. There's a great writer here in Vrindavan, Krishnadas Kaviraj. He just wrote Govinda Lila Amrita, and every devotee is appreciating it, and he can write. He's a great writer and a great philosopher and a great learned Brahmin, Krishnadas Kaviraj, because Raghunath Das wasn't a Brahmin. So he can write and you can speak. So we can bring Krishnadas Kaviraj out here to Radha Kunda because you like Govardhan so much. You just stay here at Govardhan and Radha Kunda, and Krishnadas Kaviraj will move out here and you speak every day and he'll write it down. So under the inducement and wishes of Rupa Goswami and Stan Goswami, Das Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami agreed to live on and to stay here at Radha Kunda and do bhajan and to speak about Lord Chaitanya, which he did. And he wrote a great prayer in Savali, Garanga Stavaraj or something like that. A great prayer about Lord Chaitanya's Leelas. So he stayed and he spoke, and what he spoke became a book called Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Bhajan Kutir of Raghunath Das is right next to the Bhajan Kutir of Krishnadas Kaviraj on Shamakund side. You can see it even today. And that's where what Chaitanya Charitamrita was written. It was spoken by Lord by Raghunath Das. So Raghunath Das is the only Goswami stayed here under the order and request of Rupa and Sanatana. And we're glad he did. Because the Radha Kunda and Shankar were very small when he came. They're very small. And by his prabhav, his influence, they became the size they are today. Is that clear? Raghunath Das Goswami Pada ki, Shankar Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki, Jai Jaya Sri Radhe. Water. All the way. Pull it out. Did you ever wonder what it's like to live in a world of play? Once I was on a yatra in Jagannath Puri with a bunch of 10 families from Delhi, and they had some children there. We were staying at one guest house, Birla Guest House. It's right on the beach, right across the street from the ocean. And there was it's all sand there, Jagannath Puri, all sand. And so in the sand there were swings, Hindola swings. And there was one boy and one girl. There was 3 swings in a row. And one guy's son and one other guy's daughter, they're about 7 years old. They were standing on the swing, not sitting, because kids have to do different. They were standing and holding the swing and standing. And laughing like anything. He was laughing, this, that. And I said, and we were all going out to go on yatra. But we were going to have to get makeup and all that stuff, so it takes a long time for big guys to get ready. Kids are already ready and playing. So I was waiting on the veranda watching them, because I don't have so much makeup to put on. So I was watching these kids swing, and they're having such a great time. I was thinking, wow, they're enjoying life like anything. And then everybody came out and gathered around me and said, what are you looking at? I said, look at these kids. I asked everybody, I said, what are they doing? They said, they're playing. I said, let's go talk to them. So we all went over there, all the adults. There's about 20 people, because there's 10 families. Husband, 20 people and 2 kids, older kids weren't singing. 2 kids were singing. So they finally stopped. They kept swinging. I said, what are you doing? I asked them, I said, what are you doing? He said, we're playing. I said, why? For fun. What other reason? No reason, fun. I said, see, this is life. This is Vrindavan life. Just see what this is Radharani, this is Krishna, and they're having jewel in the yatra. They're swinging. Why are they swinging? Why are they swinging? What is the philosophy? What's the tattva? There's no tattva, there's no philosophy. It's fun. They're just having fun. They're enjoying life. They're having fun. So I said, this is Vrindavan Leela. It's only fun. So would you like to live a life like that? And they said, yeah. So we had a whole philosophical class about the kids swinging. We want to see these kids who are there on the bed. They're just playing. And we were talking all kinds of whatever stuff. But they're just enjoying life. You know, life is going by us. So we're not enjoying. We're not having fun. We're just worried about the future, anxiety about the past, the future, oh, this, that. Oh, forget it, man. Live today. Be happy today. Don't worry about the future, misery, or whatever. Live today and be happy today. Hankering, lamenting, it's the whole thing people do. The Shochati and the Kanchati. Kanchati. Hankering, lamenting. Don't lament the past like we say. What do we say? What is won't last. What is won't last. What was is past. At all times be steadfast, chant Hare Krishna, and have a blast. Life is meant to enjoy. Like we were talking last night, somebody was here, you were there. I was saying, if you're doing bhakti and you're not happy, then stop doing bhakti. Bhakti is not a prison camp. It's not a life sentence. Bhakti is supposed to be full of joy. Parama Karuna, Pavandui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra, Kevala Ananda Kanda, Kevala Ananda Kanda. It should be blissful. No, I had to chant these rounds. I had to read these books. Oh, I sorry. Share my phone. My eyes get so big. My brain gets so wide open. I get so excited when I look at my screen on my phone. When I look at the book, my eyelids get so heavy. Good night. What is this crazy world? Okay, what question? Oh, watch out.
Some say that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Raghunath Das not to eat palatable foods, not to dress nicely, etc., that's instruction for the Goswamis, but not for ordinary devotees.
Good deal. It's a good thing. Otherwise I couldn't eat my lunch yesterday. I had katha balls and sweet rice. What are you going to say now?
Question is it for only Goswamis? It's not for us.
Everything is in Shastras. There are many points of understanding Shastras. time, place, circumstance, context, language, individuals, many things are required to get the final instruction which is applicable to the individual. One man's food is another man's poison, they say. So basically, Das Goswami was showing one of the principles of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which is glorified by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Sarvabhauma glorified Lord Chaitanya. He said, your Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they're renounced and they're full of wisdom. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. Nija Bhakti Yoga. Because Bhakti Yoga, many people are doing Bhakti Yoga. Ram Bhakti Yoga, Vishnu Bhakti Yoga, Nrsimha Bhakti Yoga. But Gaudiya Radha Krishna Bhakti Yoga is a different type of Bhakti Yoga. But our Bhakti Yoga is based on Vairagya, by detachment, on detachment and wisdom. So Lord Chaitanya, he did verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, where it says, Siddhanta alatsa. We should not be lazy about Siddhanta. Alas means like kind of lazy, slow. Alas. Shouldn't be lazy when it comes to Siddhanta. So Gaudiya Vaishnavas are known for their scholarship. They're not just chanting and dancing. So Das Goswami, he taught the example of Vairagya. Jiva Goswami, he taught the example of Vidya. He was a great scholar, a great learned scholar. That was his example. And teaching Rasa Tattva was Rupa Goswami. So the contribution of example of teaching of Das Goswami to set this is the hallmark and standard bearer of tapasya, austerity. There's nobody on this planet that can be a second Raghunath Das. It's impossible. All kinds of new Russian brahmacharis try to become Raghunath Das and they fall on their face. They end up in a snowbank in Siberia. Married to an Eskimo. It's like there's a joke in this guy. He said, if you can show me a pink elephant, I can show you an Italian brahmachari. Because Italy, people are known for enjoying life. So, saffron, Italian brahmachari is an impossibility to find. Nothing personal about Italians, but they're great devotees, but they're not Raghunath Das. Neither am I by any standard. So Raghunath Das, he set the standard of Vairagya. In other words, we can't be Raghunath Das, but we should try to be as renounced as we possibly can. Simple living, high thinking. Krishna preaches renunciation Gita. He says yogi he's moderate. He's moderate. Raghunath Das set the extreme, unbelievable, transcendental standard of Vairagya. Nobody can imitate, nobody should even try to pretend to imitate. It's called anukaran, not anusaran. Anukaran means imitation, which is condemned in every shastra. Anusaran means following the example, be detached. Be attached to hearing and chanting about Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was an ideal bhakta. He was very regulated, very, very balanced, very level-headed, not extreme. Ekadasi, he ate prasad. He ate 3 times a day some food, some prasad. And look what he did. So much good for others and good for himself. He created a whole world of bhaktas. He did great, had nothing, he didn't have tapabalam, there's something called tapabalam. Tapabalam, the power that you get by tapasya. He had prem balam, bhakti balam, vishwas balam. He said, why I was successful in spreading bhakti around the world, everywhere, in every country in the world, was that I had Vishwas, Guru Vishwas and Harinam Vishwas. Faith in my Guru and faith in the holy name. Prabhupada used to go out and preach sometimes in the evening time. He'd come back, he'd say, make me puris. Make me puris, not milk. So make puris. They bring the puris. He said, bring me some powdered sugar. So they bring a big ball of powdered sugar, and cover the puris, hot puris of powdered sugar, and hot milk. This is Vairagya. He's a practical man. So everybody tonight will have hot puris.
It's an individual thing.
What?
It's an individual.
We said that last week. The absolute truth, the absolute one, indivisible, absolute one truth is purely subjective. As you see it, as you understand it, as you believe it, that's what it is for you. So you have your diet to eat your granola and yogi bars and and familia, eat your familia with sliced strawberries and monk sprouts and have a good time. I'll take halva and puris and rajma. You sit down at the dinner table, everybody in this room, it's going to be different. It's definitely going to be different. No two people in this room are eating the same thing today. You do a survey. Right? And they're all smiling. And so whatever prasad you took, it ended up a smile. So you want to be running on a dasi or what?
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
Not close any
Okay, good.
by any stretch.
Okay.
But I see a lot of devotees living at Radha Kunda. There is a tendency to follow this Goswami type of lifestyle renunciation.
Oh, it's good. You say it, a lot of devotees of Radha Kunda try to follow the way of life of Raghunath Goswami. That's good. Following a good example is always good. They want to dress like him and act like him, and that's also good. But you should be for one thing, he's a male gender, so ladies want to start looking like Babaji's. It's a little strange. Start wearing white lungis and it's not really socially acceptable very much. Women that have never been married, they go around Radha Kunda with shaved heads. Shaved head is only for a widow whose husband has died. In Indian culture, a woman is a widow whose her husband's dead. And she's over 80 years old, she may shave her head. But some 29-year-old girl shaves her head and wears white, walks around. That's crazy. It's a mockery. It's not Dharma, there's no room for that. Because it becomes this form of pratishtha. Pratishtha is a very subtle, dangerous enemy. Just to be like one of the normal part of the pack, part of the herd. Bhakti is internal. Love is invisible. Only the lovers know the love between the two. Only Krishna knows the love of the devotee, and only the devotee experiences Krishna's love. It's one-on-one, it's individual. You don't know the love Krishna has for me, and you don't know the love I have for Krishna. Krishna knows, and I know. That's my private affair. But I don't have to go show some drama to show I'm a big lover of Krishna or big bhakta. That's a false drama. That's all comes under pratishtha. which is a dangerous enemy. Just be normal. But you want to stand out of the crowd. Look at my big neck beads. I got 25 neck beads now, really big ones. I'm big bhakti. Big show off. So just be clean and properly dressed and don't try to make a show. Low key. We say low key is an expression, low key. Low profile. No profile, low profile. Srinada peace meet you now. It's very hard to be normal. People always want to show off. I'm better than. I'm not normal. I'm extraordinary. There's a tendency of the ego, self-distinction. Self-distinction means rapid extinction. Self-distinction means rapid extinction. You try to distinguish. This distinguished Maharaj. And you will all become extinguished also. What did Jesus Christ say?
Only a meek and humble can inherit the kingdom of God.
What is that?
Only a meek and humble can inherit the kingdom of God.
Yeah, right. That's pretty good. Hindu Brahmin knows about Jesus. He's an all-rounder. Religious man. All you meek and humble shall inherit the kingdom of God. Meek and humble. Not the proudy folks. You should be such a Vaishnava or such a Vaishnava that nobody knows about you. That's desirable. Only Krishna, Radha and Krishna know about you. Do you know something? I don't know. Lucky person. Very lucky person. Because your head doesn't turn into a balloon that way. If you're known, your head becomes a helium balloon. Very good. It's going to be unknown. Fame is a shame. Fame is shame. Keeps you from the name. You stay retarded and lame. And you can't win the game. Okay, questions? Maybe it's too cold to raise your hand, too cold to speak, I think so. Very slow crowd. Oh, yes.
Maharaj, in Nitai Parikamana, by Radha Kunda, there is 2 shlok mentioned about particularly being surrendered to the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. Like, Vino Nitai Vinay by Radha Krishna Pai Vinay. And then again also, Narottam Thakur is mentioning emphasis on Nitai's lotus feet. So, how should we take it? Because is it referring to Guru Tattva or is it referring to a combined Sadhu Tattva? Because if somebody is like we want to aspire to be in a great parivar, etc. So how do we relate with that?
Narottam Das Thakur wrote a bhajan, Nitai Parikamala. Narottam Das Thakur is the disciple of Lokanath Goswami. So he's in what they call Lokanath Parivar, or some people call it Narottam Parivar. And he's emphasizing the special mercy of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. They're more cooling than millions of moons. Because he had direct experience of that. Nitai's mercy appeared in the life of Narottam. Because Nitai connects people with Krishna. When Das Goswami tried to go to Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri, he couldn't go on his own effort. But when he served Nitai in the Vaishnavas at Panayati Utsav, then Nitai blessed him, put his feet on his head, and blessed him to get Krishna. So Nitai represents Kripa. All Guru Tava and all that stuff with Nitai, that's all from Gaudiya Math idea. Guru is Krishna, and Guru Parampara is different Paramparas. But Nitai represents mercy. He's compassion. He's the one that saved Jagannath was Nitai. He's the one that saved Das Goswami was Nitai. He's the one that saved Narottam. Because Lokanath Goswami was refusing to initiate Narottam for 1 year. So he feels that Nitai's mercy descended on him. Because he prayed to Nitai. Obviously, a Gaudiya Vaishnava will pray to Nitai Gaur. Usually pray to Nitai Gaur. Because Nitai Gaur presented primarily as objects of mercy. Advaita is presented as a guru, as a teacher, as a respectable Gurujan for Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Because he was so much senior to them, they always treated him respectfully. So Nitai Gaur are usually the emblems of mercy for all Gaudiya Vaishnavas. They pray Nitai Gaur. We're way to party where that's just our Guru Parampara, but still we want mercy Nitai Gaur also. We also chant Nitai Gaur, we sing Nitai Padakama, Nitai Gunamani Amar, Ranga Duti Pada, and all these songs we sing because they're songs for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And they're songs begging for mercy and for Sharanagati and Siddhi Lalasa and so many things that are required for all Vaishnavas. So Narottam is a living example of Nitai Kripa. He got the mercy of Nitai's lotus feet, and Nitai blessed him to get Guru and get connected to Krishna, because Krishna connects you, Guru connects you with Krishna. Just like Raghunath got the mercy of Nitai to get connected to Krishna in the form of Gauranga. Jai Nitai. We visit Ekachakra. It's not that I only go to Shantipur. I've been 4 or 5 times to Ekachakra. I stayed 3 or 4 days one time by myself. Ekachakra is a beautiful place. Bankim Rai and all the cool places. They have Radha Kunda there and Shama Kunda there and all kinds of cool things there. Yamuna's there. And beautiful place, Ekachakra. I guess I haven't been there in 20 years. It's been 20 years since I've been there. It's a nice place. We're not boycotting, we're way to boycott, but we're not boycotting. People sometimes accuse us of that. Well, you're just a waiter, you don't care about Nitai Gaur. Anyway, okay, great. Leave me alone. That's good. If that's an excuse for you to stay away from me, okay, good, stay away. I keep my Nitai, I keep my Gaur to myself. No, we like them all. We don't have enemies. Raja ki jai, Nitai ki bhai. Raja ki jai, Nitai ki bhai. We don't say that. It's not Pakistan, India soccer match, you know. I'm trying to look at your sister here, you're blocking the way. I'm trying to look at you, go. You're still on the air? Questions. Nancy. 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 I can't say her name. It's like Nancy, but Nancy. What's your question?
My question is, how can we, if we are trying but we are not able to perform our sadhana consistently, so what should we think and how should we do it in a manner, in a consistent way?
What's the question?
If we are not able to do our sadhana consistently, what should we do? How should we make it consistent?
Question is, if we're not able to do our sadhana abhyas consistently, what should we do? You should do inconsistent sadhana. Anytime your sadhana is good. It's like, sometimes you study, sometimes you don't want to study. So that's just anishita bhakti. Sometimes you're interested, sometimes you're not interested. So don't give up hope. Just do whatever you're inspired, chant, read, and do some bhakti. Everything you do is good. There's a verse in 2nd chapter Gita, verse 40.
विक्रमराशोस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्.
Chapter 2, verse 40. Neha vikrama nashosti pratyavayo vidite sarvam panivatarajan vishwasam navajayate. Even if you do a little bhakti, it's eternally beneficial. So just as they say, hang in there. Just do what you can. Don't beat yourself, oh, I should do this, I should do that. If you're doing something, it's good. If you're not, it's also good. If you're not interested, don't worry about it. Eventually, bhakti catches you. Bhakti catches you, it won't let you go, you won't let go of bhakti. Now you're accepting, rejecting bhakti, accepting, rejecting, because it hasn't made an imprint in your consciousness. When bhakti makes an imprint in your consciousness, it creates an automatic attraction. They won't let you go. Automatically you're going to read every day, chant every day, do bhakti every day, without fail. It has to become naturally ingrained in your chitta, in your consciousness, in your subconscious. It becomes part of your makeup, becomes part of your reality. You are bhakti. Bhakti is you. But now it's foreign to you. You're investigating bhakti. You're trying to understand what is bhakti, trying to experience bhakti. You haven't experienced it yet. It's called anubhav. When you experience it, you're in bhakti all the time. You're always in the mood of bhakti. You're always remembering Krishna, hearing about him, chanting about him, answering mail about him, preaching about him, talking about him. You're surrounded by bhakti. Bhakti becomes your whole world. Many devotees sitting in this world, sitting in this room, their whole world is bhakti. All their phone calls all center around bhakti. All their mails center around bhakti. All their reading, all their work. They're fixing a house or maintaining a house. That's a house is ashram. It's for Vaishnava Seva, for Guru Seva. So it's all bhakti. So your life will become like that someday. Not now, you're just starting. A baby crawls before he walks. If you're not walking, you're crawling now. So don't hit yourself in the head because you fall on your bum. The baby walks, boom, boom. This way, he wears a big fat diaper so he keeps bouncing off his diaper. The diaper is more like a crash pad than a diaper. It's like a bumper. Like, he's walking boom, but he doesn't cry because he doesn't fall on his butt. He falls on his diaper cushion, It's like his bumper. You ever see he had a big fat thing? It's like a bumper. If you're here like that, you're falling down. Don't be angry, just relax. You'll get there. Slow and steady wins the race. Just be honest and be sincere and keep trying. You'll be successful. You may go away for some years. You'll come back with flying colors. What are you clever? You scold him or what? Yeah. Questions? Where you going? You going to ride? Okay, what? I gotta hurry up, I got 30 seconds. Okay, what? Radhe Shyam. Ramachari Baba, question.
Maharaj, can you say something about sadhya? Sadhya between devotees, between guru and disciple.
What do you say?
Sadhya between guru and disciple.
Sorry. Sorry. Faking out. What did you say?
Sadhya between guru and disciple.
Sajatiya between Guru and disciple.
Oh, Sajatiya. Sajatiya between Guru and disciple. Jati means family. So Rupa Goswami writes in Nectar of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that we should select association should be Sajati Snigdha Asha Sotovare. So Sajati means the Guru, the Shiksha and Diksha Guru should be Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So the disciple, obviously the disciple of Guru is the same jati, is the same family. So jati, that the strictest definition of jati, means he's the same family. Means he's a Gaudiya Vaishnava. There's some people in Vrindavan, they're in Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and they hear from other sadhus that aren't Gaudiyas. So that's not the optimum thing. But I asked my teacher about this, my Diksha Guru, Baba, Pana Baba. I said, some people go to hear Rajendra Das Goswami's lectures. He's Ramanandi Sampradaya, I think so. And Premananda Govinda hit Harivam, hit Premananda Govinda Sharan, who's a great famous sadhu in Vrindavan, speaks mostly Hindi, I think. And he's giving very good Hari Katha lectures and Radharani Katha and whatnot. And so I asked my guru, and he said, if they're speaking the same as the Goswamis, it's okay to hear from them. If they're speaking, if they're teaching, it's in line with the Goswamis, you can hear from them. And the proof of it was, when I went to see Gurudev, he was staying in Varsana towards the end of his life, and he was lying on the floor under a blanket. And the Babaji he was staying with, I said, Gurudev's sleeping? He said, no, he's not. And so I said, so he went to lift up the blanket. I said, don't disturb Gurudev Maharaj, maybe he's sleeping. So that's okay, because he's with him. Because he was sleeping on the doorway and with his head outside the door in the sunshine. The sun was moving like this time of day. The sun was moving in the south winter time. So he picked up the blanket and Gurudev had a phone on his chest and earplugs in his ears. And he's listening to Rajendra Das Goswami, Rajendra Das Ji Maharaj, Hari Katha, Bhagavad Sapta. He was listening, and he looked at me and he smiled. I said, okay, put the cover back on. He had a blanket over his head. He was watching the Bhagavad Sapta. Keep warm. He's a Gaudiya Vaisnava Acharya, Pandit, Adhyavik Pandit, a teaching guru. Adhyavik means teacher. And he was listening to a devotee of Ram Bhakta. Because it's a good katha. He's a good. So yes, sajati can vary. A disciple can hear from other gurus if they're speaking the same basic tattva and conclusions that the Diksha Guru is speaking. But generally, sajati, in the strictest form of sajati, means a Gaudiya Vaishnava is someone here from a Gaudiya Vaishnava. But there's room for latitude, especially beginning stage. I mean, Gurudev was 99 years old when he was listening to this guitar. Maybe in the beginning, 80 years of bhajan, maybe the first 40 years he only heard Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Because the thing is, if you're new and don't know all the tattva, don't even know Gaudiya Vaishnava tattva Siddhanta, you're going to get mixed up. You get confused about the sadhya, the goal, or the practice also. So once you're firm and steady in the goal of your own bhajan and the practice of your own bhajan, then you can augment it or supplement it with katha from other sadhus, even from other jatis, other family lines. Like Murari Bapu. Murari Bapu, I don't know what his line is, but he speaks Ram Katha very nicely. It says when he speaks, Hanuman comes to listen to his katha. He's an Indian Brahmin, I guess, Murari Bapu. Murari Bapu is a famous Ram Katha speaker. So basically, generally, it's told by Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami that if you take shiksha from some guru, that guru should be approved by your Diksha Guru. The primary guru, according to our Goswamis, is the Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru should give all the shiksha and diksha everything, and his approval should be there before you take shiksha from outside. Then you're safe. Then you have blessings from all sides. Diksha Guru is sanctioning and blessing you, and the Shiksha Guru you're hearing from is blessing you. Then you make good progress. But if you become sneaky and independent, then you're not in good shape. Always should be transparent. Guru is transparent. Why can't the disciple be transparent? What's to hide? The Guru should be able to ask the disciple anything. The disciple should be able to ask the Guru anything. What about this? What about that? Here's my record books. Look at my profit loss, red and black. You should show your cards, don't look cute. Honesty, transparency, straightforwardness, and saralata, these are qualities of Vaishnava. Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Pavan Radhe, Pavan Shyam, Pavan Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. Vrindavan Bihari Lala Ki Jai, Vangi Bihari Lala Ki Jai. Questions?
There is no one else.
It's only you, huh? It's you all the way.
Maharaj, do
Is that Anurag? Who is that?
Anurag.
Daddywala.
Maharaj, do
Daddywala.
do Manjaris enter Ras Leela?
The Manjaris enter Ras Leela. Yes, they enter Ras Leela. They play musical instruments there. They play musical instruments and they also dance.
Do they dance with Krishna?
Yeah. I don't know if they dance with Krishna, but they dance for Radharani. Radharani asks them to dance, they dance. And sometimes if Krishna drops an ankle bell, Radharani will indicate to a Manjari she should dance, pick up the ankle bell and put it on Krishna's feet without missing a beat, without missing a step. And that's a good dancer. Maybe your mother can do that. Ask her. Tell her about the Rasa dance and say, Mom, can you do a dance like this? Krishna drops an ankle bell and Radharani says, oh. And Radharani gives a glance to Manjari. And Manjari goes, pick it up and put it on. So Manjari has to run, drop the ankle bell and follow Krishna's feet and put it on his feet without disturbing his dance. That's pretty good dancing. Can you dance like that? Practice. What else you want to say? Or Kuch?
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, what is the rati that is being practiced in Radha Vallabh Sampradaya?
What are you saying?
What is the rati that is being practiced in Radha Vallabh Sampradaya?
What is the rati that's being cultivated by sadhakas in the Radha Vallabh Sampradaya? Does anyone know? I don't really know myself. As far as I can guess, it appears that they're cultivating Madhurati and also the service of Radharani. Sakya Bhav and Madhurati. But I don't really know for sure. I haven't read their writings. I don't know their people. But the impression I get from Premananda that they're worshipping Radha and Krishna for sure, Radha Vallabh, and to worship Radha Vallabh must be Madhurati. That's an obvious conclusion. So they're cultivating Madhurati in Sakya Bhav. We're cultivating Madhurati in Manjari Bhav. It's also Sakya Bhav that's called Manjari. A little different. Slightly different. I don't know much. You have to ask them.
I read to the degree that different devotees have similar moods or similar nature to the degree they're friends, otherwise they're enemies. What is this enmity?
What you're saying? What is the enmity?
Yeah, like it says that to the degree their natures are similar, they are friends. Otherwise, they're enemies.
The question is, the Sakhis, to the degree, if you're like me, you're my friend. If you're not like me, you're my enemy. Where did you read that?
Actually, Ujjwala Nilamani, in a little book of, it's a little one. Ujjwala Nilamani Vishwanath Chaturvedi Thakur.
Ujjwala Nilamani Kiran.
Possibly. Yeah,
what are you saying? Sankalpa Kalpa Juma by Vishwanath?
No, Ujjwala Nilamani.
Ujjwala Nilamani Kiran by Vishwanath.
Probably. Yeah.
It's a small book.
Small.
Yeah, that's a summary of Ujjwala Nilamani. Well, you read English translation or Sanskrit?
English.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
English is always a problem. But first of all, the question is asked, it's said there, in English it says that some Sakhis that have similar temperament and similar heart and mind as me are my friends, and ones that have different mentality are my enemies. So the question is, how can there be enmity there, enemy parties there? So the answer is there isn't. There is no enmity, there's no anger or hatred in the spiritual world. The spiritual world is prema dham. There's different flavors and expressions of prema. There's something called paksha sakhi and vipaksha sakhi. Paksha sakhi means my party, and vipaksha sakhi means against my party. Chandravali is vipaksha sakhi, and Lalita Vishaka are paksha sakhi. They're friendly sakhis. They're in Radharani's party. Paksha means group, party. Vipaksha means against my group. So there's a rivalry between Chandravali and Radharani because there's one lover and there's two beloveds. There's a problem. So this creates some tension and some drama, and it increases the love of all the members. The basic bottom line is everyone's love increases, not everyone's enmity increases. They take the position of being anti-parties, being rivals, but that's just to increase love, not to create hatred or to create a murder scene. Here you have enemy parties that creates hatred and murder. So there's enemy parties, but they take that position as they're playing a role of being enemy. Chandravali is Radharani's sister. Chandravali is the daughter of Chandrabhanu. Chandrabhanu is the brother of Vrishabhanu. Vrishabhanu is the father. So they're cousin sisters. In India, it means direct sisters. Your father, my uncle is your father. Very close. They grew up together, they played together, did everything together. But then when they got old enough to be interested in boys, then they got, hey, you're looking at blue boy? Yeah, me too. Don't look at that blue boy, he's my blue boy. No, he's my blue boy. Oh. That's a problem. So it's just to increase the ras. Increase the ras, increase the love of Krishna. Because if you have competition, competition improves quality. Competition improves quality. I opened a shoe shop. I'm selling shoes. Not vegetarian, non-leather shoes.
Plastic shoes.
Plastic shoes, non-leather. And I'm a good shoe shop guy. And so I'm the only shoe store in town. Everybody's coming to me. The guy opens a shop across the street selling shoes. Plastic shoes. 20% cheaper. And everybody starts going there. My customers start going down. So I had to improve my quality. I make a better sign. And I put up different signs. Half price sale. And I introduce other kind of shoes and change my product line and bring in handbags and belts. Non-leather. and socks. Russian socks. Handmade from Russian grandmothers. And so I have a diversified stock, and so people come to mine. So competition improves quality. So because Radha is competition, she has to be better than Chandravali, had to dance better, had to look better, had to act better. So that's good. So Radharani's beauty increases. And who is the winner of all this competition? Krishna? There's never one instance where Radharani and Chandravali had a cat fight. There's never an instance where Radharani and Chandravali were rolling on the ground, scratching each other and biting each other, pulling their hair out. It's not like Italy or Russia or something like that. It's just they're just playing. So there's no enmity. That's Ross, it's fun. Krishna likes to see Radharani get angry face, you know. And she always, oh, Krishna Swami, see you go. Variety. Prabhupada said variety is the mother of enjoyment. Every day you see your wife, she's always smiling. It's so boring, you know. And one day she's silent. She's just sitting in a chair, looking at the wall, you know. And you say hello, she doesn't talk to you. And gives you the silent treatment. Then, you know, what's for dinner? And you go to the kitchen, nothing. You say, are you going to cook anything? And no words come out. That's I'm going to go in my room. Husband retreats to his room. He calls his mother. Mom, you have any dinner over there? I'm coming over for dinner. What happened? My wife's on strike. My wife's not talking, not cooking, not doing anything. So talk to her, work it out. No, I don't want to talk to her. No, that's not right. Go talk to her. Okay, Mom. You know, it goes on like that, you know. I guess. I never had enough courage to do that. I was a pretty courageous kid, but not that courageous. I was also pretty stupid, but not that stupid to get married. To get married, you have to be courageous, and you have to be stupid. Remember that, Anurag. 2 qualifications for getting married. You have to be courageous, you have to be stupid. Oh, do you qualify? What do you think, Babaji? You agree with me? You're too smart. Courageous and stupid. Fools rush in where angels dare not. Fools rush in where angels dare not. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Flap my wings. Whoa, backwards. Fly like a hummingbird. Go backwards, man. What's going on? What time is it?
5. 03.
Chai. We made it. Any questions? One more question. Does anyone have a sensible question today? One sensible question? There's a lot of crazy questions today. Okay.
So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says like everybody is under the control of 3 modes of nature, gunas, and one cannot act beyond that. But he gives the instruction like remember me always. So how to? Because is it like? And Krishna also says, from me comes remembrance, from me comes forgetfulness, everything comes from me. But he gives the instruction to Arjuna, like, remember me.
Question is, the basic teaching of Gita is that living entity has no free will, but at the same time Gita, Krishna is telling, always think of me, remember me, do your work, etc. So how do the two work together? Because we have no independence and no free will. So how can we have the independent choice or free will to make the choice to remember Krishna? So that's the whole eternal debate about free will versus non-free will. The conclusion, the basic conclusion is there's some free will for every living entity according to the degree of covering of modes of nature. The degree to which one is covered by Tamagun, Rajagun, and Sattvagun is the degree to which one is free to make a choice and make movements and decisions in life. So we become uncovered by surrendering to Krishna. The effect of Maya is non-freedom. Maya is binding everyone. So when we surrender to Krishna, we get some freedom of intelligence and freedom of choice. Krishna is a gift of Krishna. Krishna gives us the freedom of choice and movement. So that's why the devotee has the most freedom of any living entity in the material world. One of the devotee has the most freedom because Krishna's opened the gates of bondage. He's taken off the shackles of bondage. That verse is there, 7:14 Gita. Is it 7:14? Davye Shikunamai Mamaya Dradya Mame Vya Prapadyante Mayame Tantrantite. We can cross over Maya. Maya means non-freedom. Maya means Durga. Durga means prison. Durga. Ga means gati, means movement. Durga means difficult. So Durga means a place where it's difficult to move. It's difficult to make movement because we're tied up. We're tied up by Tamagun, Rajagun, Sattvagun. We have no freedom. We're bound. When we surrender to Krishna, we get freedom. We get free from Maya. So we can make choices. We have independence. So devotees have freedom, free will, and they can make choices. But anyone else, animals have absolutely no free will. The more closer you are to God, the more free will you have, the more free choice you have. So Sattva-gun is the closest to God. So yogis and Sattva-gun people, they have more free will than Tamagun and Rajagun people. Devotees have the most free will because the bondage is arranged ultimately by God, and we become God's devotees, so He releases us from bondage. Devotees become so powerful that what they say comes true. It's called sadhya sankalpa. Usually one doesn't get the power of sadhya sankalpa until they get moksha. One of the qualities of a liberated jiva mukta, liberated soul, is sadhya sankalpa. Whatever he says comes true. When the devotees advance in bhakti bhajan, Krishna gives them the power of sadhya sankalpa. Prabhupada said, I'll open 108 temples, only time separates me. He opened 108 temples. So that's why people, when they meet saintly people, they always ask for blessings. Because a lot of times the blessings come true. The saints have power.
So is it limited only to the desire, or because even devotees sees like everything is being done according to the will of the Lord, the will of Krishna?
Let's make your question more clear.
So the independence is just desiring capability, or it's not controlling capability?
Independence of the devotee is the power given by God when he's pleased by the bhakti and surrender of the devotee. He gets the power, whatever he says comes true, because he has power. That's what Shakti means, power. Sadhya Sankalpa means the power. All power comes from God. Shaktiman. He's a Shakti, he's a possessor of all Shaktis. Prasya Shakti Jaya Shriyate. Svabhaviki Gana Bhava Kriyacha. So Kriya means the power to do things. So Kriya Shakti is given by God to the devotee, so the devotee does things. So he builds temples, does so many things with Krishna's Kriya Shakti. Bala Shakti and Kriya Shakti. It's the devotee's power. It's given by God. Devotees have power. Otherwise, what does it mean to be guru and disciple? There's an exchange of power there. Power is being given, power is being received, and progress is being made. You can't move without power. If there's no petrol in your car, it doesn't move. Petrol gives the power to the car. Or Guru Kripa gives power to the disciple. Disciple moves in bhakti by Guru Kripa. That's power. Kripa Shakti Murti, the Guru. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe,